So I'm thinking.
Oh. That's good.
Dangerous. No, but next week is going to be October. So we should decorate the set for Halloween with some bats.
I am on board. I feel
Cobwebs.
like we should also dress accordingly.
Oh, absolutely.
So we definitely should. That's our favorite holiday.
It is. It is. And I have some Halloween hoodies and crew necks that I need an excuse to buy.
So you don't have them. You just want them.
Yeah.
There you go. It's for the podcast.
It's, yeah.
It's, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, let's get into this week's episode. We are on episode 10, which feels like a milestone.
It really does. It feels like.
But like technically episode 8 would have been like 2 months.
You're right.
So really, and we missed a week.
So it's been almost 3 months.
We've almost been at this for 3 months now.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No, hopefully you guys feel like it hasn't been that long and you want more. No, but it does feel like a milestone. So thanks for tuning in again. And our weekly recap this week, there's a lot of falling. Not us personally.
No.
But we had Post Malone fall at a concert. We had Tim McGraw fall at a concert. And we had Adam Levine fall into the wrong woman's
I can't believe you just said that.
It was on my head for so long. I had to say it. I couldn't not say it. I apologize. That's so insensitive. So
Truth is truth. We don't know if that's truth, but
yeah, you're right. This is all alleged. Well, Post Malone falling.
that happened.
That for sure happened. I saw a video. No, so let's rewind.
Mhm.
Poor freaking Post Malone. The most, grateful performer. Freaking fell. Freaking fell. He freaking fell.
Freaking bats.
Not yet. So he fell in a slit in his stage, which he says he forgot was there. I say, who the hell designed this stage to have a hole that could be fallen into, when clearly when you're performing, you're looking out to the audience. You're not looking down at the stage to see where you're walking. But I digress. He fell into the slit that supposedly the guitar comes up and down from. And it was not a tumble. It was not a trip. It was a fall.
It looked like it was painful. And it was. He broke 3 ribs.
He confirmed that he broke 3 ribs. And I watched multiple angles of this.
Same.
And he whacked his head hard. So this man's takes a tumble, big fall tumble, hits his head, breaks his ribs, gets medically escorted off the stage. Like, you've seen videos of people fall when they're performing and then get picked back up. No. This man's had to be carried out.
Removed.
He was out for like 10 minutes, the people said that were at the concert. But he came back out, chugged a beer, and finished
that feels on
the
brand.
whole set. Finished the whole set.
Also on brand. I'm not surprised, but also the pain he was probably in.
Dude, imagine trying to sing with broken ribs. And you kind of would know because you said you bruised ribs before.
I have.
And you couldn't even walk, you said.
No, I couldn't. I mean, the way they were, bruised is besides the fact. I was standing on a table.
A tumble is a tumble. But
I tumbled, and no, I had to sit and, ice my ribs and, could it hurt to walk, it hurt to breathe, let alone sing. I don't sing, but if I was singing, you use your breath for that, I imagine. And I don't know.
Well,
I couldn't do it.
I think you use your diaphragm, which is literally
That's the one.
but it's literally right in your abdomen. So imagine
This poor guy.
squeezing your abdomen while your ribs are broken. And the other thing is, I feel like any other situation, maybe you'd be compelled to finish the show because everyone's already there and you don't want everyone to just have to leave. But to also not even postpone future shows that you have, because he's on tour.
What a guy.
So he literally has other shows after this and he plans on just keeping them. That's we applaud you. But honestly, no, I was not shocked when I heard that he came back out.
No, that doesn't surprise me at all. That seems very in character of him.
In his video of his response, he was apologizing. I know.
He just seems like such a sweetheart.
I know. I mean, what a guy. What a guy. I could never. Also, though, interesting fact, I've never broken a bone. This is what, right? In here?
I don't know.
I hope so. Chairs are made up.
Yeah, we'll find. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't want to find out. Do you think we'll find out? We fall out of here. All of a sudden we're on the floor. We're not gonna break any bones, but you've never broken a bone either, you say?
No. You've never have?
No.
With all the tumbling you did as a child?
I tumbled purposely. I was a gymnast and a dancer. I don't know what I was up to. I was changing sports all the time, but I was good, but I was also so reckless as a child, like with I thought I was invincible. Oh, do a double back handspring, tuck this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you told me to freaking do a cartwheel, I'd be like, wait a second. Is the ground safe? Yeah, let me stretch. Like, now I would never, but back in the day, we act like we're so old.
You were reckless. You were crazy. You were jumping on a trampoline.
I jumped on a trampoline. I was reckless.
Wild.
Sometimes I do get upset that my parents would never force me to stay in a sport or do a sport. You know how some parents are very adamant, like, I want my kid to be a dancer.
Yes.
And they make them stay and dance for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were very like, whatever you want to do, sweetheart. I'm like, and at the time I was very thankful. But looking back, I do wish that they would have made me do some stuff.
Like what?
For example, I now, as an adult, get too scared to try or learn new, what I would consider dangerous activities.
Such as?
I cannot snowboard anymore or ski.
What do you mean?
So here's the thing. I can do it, but I get so scared. And I feel like it's one of those things where if you were a kid and I would have learned how to do it then, I wouldn't have been scared. So it would have been no problem. I see freaking 3-year-olds out there on skis.
Oh, yeah.
Or snowboards. I'm like, okay.
They're zooming down the slopes.
Sometimes they be sleeping too. They're just letting it go. And I'm like, okay. And then there's me pizzaing the whole way down, so scared that if I pick up 1 mile per hour, it's over. I'm going off the ledge. So I don't do it. And I get so scared now. It's like my frontal lobe's too developed now to allow myself to do these activities. And I wish I would have been forced to learn when I was younger. Because it's like riding a bike. It's like you weren't really that scared to do it. And it was something everybody did and you just did it and you learned. And now I can pick up a bike at any time and do it. And I feel like if that's the same thing with skiing or snowboarding. Like once you learn how to do it when you're young, you could do it any time.
This comparison. I feel like a bike and skiing are two different things.
Well, they are, but I think it's the mindset, like when you're young, you're just willing to try anything. Even now, I feel like if you're like, get on the trampoline and like do a backflip. I'd be like, oh my God, what if I fly off the trampoline?
Yeah.
Like, you think about things way too much, or at least me. I overthink it, and I'm like, okay, that's not a good decision.
No, this makes sense because I'm convinced that I've skydove twice in my life. Haley did not because she's much wiser than me. However,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I think that my frontal lobe developed between the 2 times I skydove.
I don't think that's a word. But
I'm trying to say like
I know.
skydived in the past, and skydived sounds wrong too. But the first time, no fear. Second time, much fear.
Yeah.
I cried as I was landing the second time. Nothing went wrong, but I was convinced something that was going to go wrong would happen.
I just was never a person that was compelled to skydive. And, you know, they have those simulators of skydiving. I did that when I was younger, and I'm all set.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I'm all
You
set.
experienced it.
I don't know if I experienced the actual feeling that you feel when you skydive, but I experienced fear.
Oh,
And I'm all set.
that sounds about what I experienced in the sky.
Well, there is a way to, so if you're good at it, they make you do the whole tutorial too, like as if you were really going skydiving.
I didn't get much of a tutorial.
You have to like watch the video, right?
No one made me watch a video. They put me in a room.
Don't expose them because I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Well, you had to like watch a tutorial video and then you can go do it. And if you're good at it, the instructors would go up in the tube and flip around and be able to do all these cool tricks. And I was not good at it, but on accident, I accidentally flew up really high. And so I panicked as soon as I got up there. And so you're in this tube and you're looking down and it's not that much space. And so I'm up there and like the instructor's at the bottom of the tube looking up at me like, you can come down now. And so I put my arms down because I panicked. And you have to keep your arms out, you know?
You're going to drop.
Oh, so I just put them in. He's like, put your arms down. Put your arms. It's kind of like the pizza thing when you're skiing. And so I start going too fast and I ended up putting him back out because I was like, oh, shoot, I got to get back up there. But after that, I was pretty scared. And I'm like, imagine doing this not in a tube. No, thank you. I will pass. Yeah, so now I just think that, you know, we need to make better decisions about
what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Which leads us to our next topic, which is Adam Levine not making very good decisions.
Mm-mm.
It's so funny because I went back and forth when this first happened. Obviously, both parties are wrong in the situation, but this all got exposed. If you didn't see it, a girl came out on TikTok saying she had an affair with Adam Levine for a year. Actually, she didn't say Adam Levine.
Oh my gosh. This is
the part that pissed us off.
I was mad.
So she says, I had an affair with a married man that was married to a Victoria's Secret model.
Which is the most...
Are you trying to flex,
clickbait, like YouTube caption, title, whatever you want to call it?
Like it was almost a proudness of, well, I must be something because she was a Victoria's Secret model. But anyway, so that she makes this video. She says she had an affair and she starts showing receipts. But I'm like, girl, we've gotten better receipts with our shady stories.
We have.
And it's like these messages were not that incriminating. She also claimed that Adam Levine's a manipulator and that's how she ended up having an affair with him. Okay. So it's like
Okay.
you're showing these receipts that any manipulator would easily be able to get out of because they weren't confirming anything. And in fact, I screenshotted and I will put this in the video because
in case it gets wiped from the internet.
Yeah, so she was doing a screen recording to try to prove that they had an affair. And one of the messages that she hurried up and scrolled out of, it was her saying, I don't know, something weird. And he goes, I don't make out with anyone except my wife, yo. And I don't, obviously.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she responded back saying, duh. like, and it's kind of one of those things where it could have been he was trying to not leave a paper trail, but even still, like I said, if this was all for his wife to help her out or show her the truth, well, you didn't do that, because now he's going to be like, no, look, I said I don't make out with anyone except my wife.
If you're going to get the receipts, you need to get the hard facts. You need to ask like direct questions
Proof when they were together.
Yes.
Like some kind of physical proof, because right now, if it's just through messaging, any manipulator is going to get out of that.
Yeah. Manipulators know how to talk, and they clearly know how to trick someone into believing their truth.
Which she would know if he supposedly manipulated her into the whole relationship.
Exactly. So she needs to get better receipts.
Yeah. We're not encouraging it, though, because also first of all, I didn't even know this, but Adam Levine's wife is pregnant with their third child. And, you know, what a time to choose to go public with an information like that.
If you're genuinely, you feel like you've done something wrong and you feel shame and guilt for it, and you're trying to make the situation better, come clean, going to a public platform like TikTok, you know what you're doing there. And it just feels a little calculated in the way in which the message was delivered. If you're sincere about something, that's not something that you need to display to the rest of the world.
Right.
That's something that you figure out in private. So
it
that's
seemed
the
like
part
a lot
that's
of
a little off.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the situation was trying to almost flex the facts of, well, I must be something because he wanted to. This is why she came out. This is what I was going to say. She came out with it supposedly because they're pregnant with the third kid, and he wanted to name the child after her. So then she felt like that was the breaking point of like having to come clean. But even still, why do it publicly? And that's not a good thing. Like,
No.
I feel like it made her feel good that, okay, this is like hot tea to share, and like it makes me look good because like he liked me so much that he wanted to name the child after me.
I think that's ridiculous, and I think I've seen calmly. I think that's ridiculous, but I've seen people speaking about the fact that she is pregnant, not the girl from TikTok, but Adam Levine's wife, and if you're genuinely trying to look out for her and let her know, like, hey, your husband had an affair, going about it on TikTok and involving hundreds of millions of people to a pregnant woman that's a lot of stress to put on her body.
Yeah, that's not right.
Mm-mm.
There's better ways to go about this. I mean, in the first place, maybe never doing it, but
That's a good start.
people make mistakes, and I think if it genuinely was a situation like she had claimed, there was so many other options to handle it. But I saw an interesting video after about signs to look for if you're in a relationship and you think someone's cheating.
Let's hear 'em.
Which some are basic, but this video was interesting. I should have paid more attention to the name so we could tag the name. But it was a historian that said these patterns and signs have been written about and are actual patterns throughout history from women's journals and stuff that they've collected over the years. And so even though the times have changed, so I'm not talking like he's texting a lot or, you know, stuff like that. It's like general signs. So there's 3 that I wrote down. If the man, because these were about men, specifically, has a big ego or seems full of themselves or has narcissistic personality traits that are obvious to the other person, that could be a red flag that they might maybe cheat on you.
Seems like a red flag.
If they dramatically change their behavior randomly, so like all of a sudden start spending less time with you or randomly start buying you stuff, that could mean they're cheating. And also, if you get a weird gut feeling,
That tracks.
and these are signs throughout history that have remained the same.
I think I've experienced all of these. I'm just kidding. But
Oh,
no, those
gosh.
all check out to be very logical
Yeah.
signs to look for.
Yeah. And I feel like that's it. These were kind of real life shady stories, and we'll get to our shady stories after, but we have our second Ask Me Anything.
And I've come
You did what?
I've come prepared with a question.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Are you?
I don't know.
I am. So Miss Haley.
Hold on, I'm nervous.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Miss Haley.
Don't.
Why did you choose to live in Michigan? And would you ever consider moving to LA? So what brought you here to Michigan?
That's actually great question. So I didn't choose to live in Michigan. Michigan chose me. No, I was born in Michigan. I feel like that's a choice that most parents kind of make when you're growing up.
Yeah.
We've just our whole family has just stayed in Michigan. So I probably don't plan on going anywhere. I think the first time I really would have ever had a choice to leave would have been college. But I didn't even apply anywhere out of state. I didn't really want to go anywhere else. I don't think I could ever move unless my whole family went to wherever it was. I don't know. I'm too much
and
of
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone I know needs to move.
Yes.
And then I'll move. No, I can't imagine. And it's not even, I haven't lived at home since I could not live at home. Like since college, I
Right.
haven't lived at home, and I've never wanted to live back at home. But it's something about just knowing that I have the option that I'm close to my parents and close to my friends and close to my other family. I just need the option. But like, even if I don't use it, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It's there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like Michigan. I feel like Michigan's all in all a good place to live.
I could use 1 less, 2 less, 3 less months of winter.
Yeah.
But the rest of the seasons I'm here for.
Yeah, it's
And
nice.
I like having it. You know, it's cozy when it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and that kind of gets to the next point. If I ever moved somewhere, well, I don't think I would move somewhere. What I think I would do, I would get a second place, like a vacation place or somewhere that I
makes
could
sense.
rent out like the rest of the year, and when I'm not there, and then go, which I feel like the smart thing to do would be LA, to get like a second place there for work, because I feel like everybody works out of there, or New York. But New York's cold too, so
It is, so
I
it wouldn't
get
necessarily
a
be
second
warmer.
place. Yeah, I wouldn't get like a second place or move there. New York's close enough to fly to if I need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think I would ever move to LA, but I would potentially have a second place there one day.
Fair enough.
The weather's a little bit better.
It is. It's better than here. I feel like the lowest it gets there. I mean, I don't know. I know they wear like jackets and stuff there because they adapt to the weather, but
Yeah.
it's like 60s is low for them.
No, it gets a little lower.
Does
I think.
it?
I think so.
Hmm.
But 60s in Michigan are considered so warm, so I don't know.
True.
So yeah, that's the AMA this week. That wasn't too much of a pressure. It wasn't a hard hitting question, but I liked
Fun
it.
question.
I always think about that because I know, like I said, I know a lot of people for work move to New York or LA, but whatever, I'm all set.
Yeah.
People,
We like it here.
yeah, people can come here. But let's get into this week's shady stories.
I'm excited about them.
What do you want to do? Me 1, you 2, me 3?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Let's get into it. Shady story number 1. A few years back, I was dating a guy who was not the kindest and cheated on me multiple times. I finally ended things, and he went around telling everyone how awful I was for breaking up with him. I was petty and wanted revenge. He had just gotten a new job, so I found his boss on Facebook, worked my magic, and started dating his boss. While it didn't last, it still upset him enough to make him quit his job and gave me a good laugh.
I want to applaud her. I feel like that was great. That was
short, sweet, and to the point.
It was a perfect story, a perfect ending.
It fits in with our little theme that we had in the last real life shady story that we just talked about with the cheating scandal.
And playa-playas.
And playa-playas. That's the theme. I don't even think that is the theme this episode, but kind of. This story was. What do we think? We have to
rate it.
Yeah. This isn't that shady.
It's not that shady. I would say this is, I mean, she had great execution, you know, in her efforts to date the boss.
5 out of 10.
5?
I mean,
I clapped for it 6.
We have our first disagreement with the ratings.
Drama.
Okay, you can read this one.
Okay. So, shady story number 2. I was once dating this guy for about 3 years, and I had got a day off, which I didn't plan for, and I was meant to have been on nights, so I decided to stop by and get some brunch for my boyfriend and got him an Xbox game that he wanted as a surprise. I went round his place, quietly opened the door, and went into the bedroom, and I found my boyfriend there naked in bed with his ex. So I quietly left the brunch and the game on the side of the table with the key, and I moved cities, and I got a new job and blocked him on all social media. I got a new number, and I told my close friends and family that I didn't want him finding me and that I never wanted to see him again. That was until a few months ago. After about 4 years, he saw me when I was visiting a friend and said that what I had done was wrong and I had not given him a chance to explain anything or apologize for his actions. And I was like, dude, that was the point. That's great. And then he said he never got a chance to have closure and I feel like it was the best decision I have ever made.
I feel like I could never be that person. I would want to have that argument so badly.
Same. I wouldn't be able to hold it in.
Out. Yeah. To just walk out and just disappear.
Just peacefully, like, move on and go about your life.
But I feel like that's the most badass thing you could do in that situation.
It is. Calm, cool, collected. None of the things that I could do in that situation, I'd be so mad.
She didn't even need the explanation, and I feel like that's how everyone's mindset should be, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't need to hear a single thing. I saw what I needed to see,
mm-hmm.
and here I go. But I feel like that's just not in me. I would have to argue so bad.
And to get, like, a new job in a new city, like, that takes a lot of guts to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of this person, whoever this is. And that was the best decision you could have made. Good for you. I've never heard a story like this. Like, she didn't go outside and cut his tires. She didn't do anything.
No, she was mature. And then, honestly, the fact that the guy was, like, trying to
you didn't give me closure.
Gaslight her into feeling like she did something wrong when he was very much so.
Now that's
in the
manipulator.
Wrong. That's manipulation.
Yeah. What do we think?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't, I mean, well, to be fair, she did catch him.
That was shady. Yeah. She wasn't shady, though. She was strong.
The writer wasn't shady, but who was about the subject, the character, the main character was, I would say, 6 out of 10.
I agree.
That's what I thought. Okay. Shady story number 3. Are these all about play-plays?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We do have a theme then.
Play.
Shady story number 3. My older sister had a best friend and boyfriend. They all worked at the same job for years, yet the best friend and the boyfriend weren't really that close. When my big sis and her boyfriend were together, they shared social media passwords and some stuff like couples do. But when my older sister and her boyfriend had broken up, she still had access to his Facebook account where she would log on and read messages between him and the ladies. Only the ladies. Keep that in mind. On a random day, she told me that she had been sneaking onto his Facebook account a few times already, and later that night she went to do it again. And when evening came around, she randomly stormed off in a fit of rage and drove away. I had a feeling it was something to do with the ex, and since I liked him so much as a big brother for 6 years, I had to tell him what was going on because I felt it was wrong and an invasion of his privacy. So her ex-boyfriend's known for a while that she's been logging onto his account and didn't know who he knew somebody was logging onto his account but didn't know who until I ratted out my sister, which seems bad, but she's not a good person at all, so it's fair. Since my sister never read the messages between him and his male friends, it was no big deal that her ex always texted this one guy friend all the time on Facebook. But that guy friend he was always texting was in fact her best friend that had a Facebook account under a different name and different gender completely. Her ex-boyfriend was messaging all the time. It was actually her best friend. My big sis came to find out that the two of them had been talking secretly and even dating while my sister and them were still a couple and best friends. The texts she read were all about them starting a life together, moving away, sending each other pictures of apartments to move into, and speaking badly about her, etc. I don't blame them because of who she is. So yeah, I ratted out my sister. She suffered the consequences of snooping, and I don't feel bad about it in the slightest.
Every single character in this story was shady. And that's what I love about it.
That was the turn I did not expect, that the sister was still convinced, like, she deserved it.
Yeah, she deserved it. She wasn't a good person. So the sister, the one that wrote this story, ratted her sister out about the messages. Shady.
I don't know this person personally, obviously, but this big sister has a little sister that hates her, a boyfriend that's cheating on her, and a best friend that's not being a best friend and cheating with her boyfriend.
And she's snooping, so she's shady too. Every single one of them.
This is going to get a good rating.
Oh.
It has to. Every single person in this was a bad person.
Yeah.
But I guess the little sister feels like it's justified, but I still don't know. Like, she felt compelled to go tell this guy because he was like a big brother to her because they had been dating for so long. So it was kind of like a big brother figure. But you literally have a big sister figure and literal.
Yeah, and you're going to go behind her back?
To the guy that you knew was cheating on her. I don't like it. I don't like it.
But you like it in terms of the shady meter.
And in terms of the shadiness, 9.5 out of 10.
I was going to say 9.
No one got hurt. No, there was no dramatic ending, but
just a lot of shadiness.
Yeah, every character was shady.
And I loved it.
Do we have a lot of submissions? We got a couple new ones since we said it last time, so make sure if you have them, it's in the description to submit your stories. The Ask Me Anything is also in the description. We didn't put it in the Instagram description, so make sure you go to the YouTube and submit your shady stories there.
And if you have any especially spooky shady stories,
oh yeah,
let us know, because we do intend to keep spooky season alive here.
Yeah, I think all of October we should try to do, besides the decorating and besides dressing spooky, we will try to do some spooky stories. So submit your spooky stories. If it's a ghost story, if it's... The one was really good that we read in the past, too, about the girl that was tricking her friend that she thought she was
the graveyard one?
Yeah, so any good stories like that, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.